Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
We are GMS New Orleans camp here to bring you a live camp. Trying to get started, want to give infinite honors and prayers to
Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua Bahashem Rakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who taught us the truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, you Akim, you Aquat, which you brothers and sisters in the Hebrew that believe. All right, and Shalom again.
Shalom.
So, for this live camp, through the spirit, through the things that's happening, amongst the men of Israel, one thing that you always have to meditate on is yourself being blessed, okay? Being blessed and ultimately being thankful for the situation of the Lord even calling your name to do this work, okay? But you got to know that many people don't have the opportunity to do this, all right? So while you're here, you got to make everything count, okay? But Baba Kashar, we're going to just get straight in the scriptures, but Baba Kashar kicked me off with we're going to start with Isaiah first.
All right. This the book of Isaiah, chapter 64, verse 6. But we are all an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags. And we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away.
It says that our righteousness is as filthy rags, okay? Because you got to know that, Jake, none of us standing up here is innocent of sin, okay? So we know that we are all deserving, to be put to death for whatever sin Jake committed, but again, the Lord is having mercy on us, especially through this grace period that we're in, so this is the opportunity to work and show the Lord, prove to the Lord, why you should be called, okay? Again, Jake did a lesson, a while back called the Proving Ground, and this is where you prove it, all right? This is where you make everything known, to make your calling and your election sure, okay? But Jacob could get beside themselves and don't know the opportunity that they have right in front of them. Okay, you could get beside yourself and just completely lose, focus on your crown. Based off of bullshit that's going on in the world, and just demons taking over your mind and plaguing your mind. Okay, but the Lord expects you to fight through that and fight past that. Okay. But hit me with the Matthew.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, starting at verse 9. In red letters, who have ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciple came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Question mark. Verse 11. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But to them it is not given.
Okay, you can stop right there. And that's again another reason why the Lord reads in parables. Okay, because this is not meant for everybody to understand. All right, the Lord has His chosen, amongst all of Israel. All right, yes, Israel is going to be saved overall at the end, but on this first go around, the Lord is only ordaining, 1/3 of our people. Brother can get that. 1/3 of our people to be saved.
Zechariah.
Yeah. Anybody, whoever get it first, But read that last verse again.
Fine. Verse 11. And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
And brother could get that in Romans 2. The all Israel is not Israel.
Romans 11:7.
Again, the point that I'm harping in is that yes, Israel is as the sand of the sea, But again, the Lord still has His remnant of the people that He wants to have this understanding. Okay. Con. You could get that real quick. Then we're gonna finish in that message.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 8. It says, and this shall come to pass that in the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
Gone. You know, the third should be left therein. All right, and that goes into the mathematical equation of three parts. If two parts is gone, that means there's only one of the three parts left. All right, so that's the 1/3 versus the 2/3 in the scriptures. You know, for the brothers and sisters who don't know that. Okay, but again, 1/3 of our people are ordained to be saved, and 2/3 to be destroyed with the heathen. Okay, but continue in that Matthew real quick.
This is Matthew 13 and 12. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundant. But whosoever have not, from him shall be taken away, even that he had. 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand.
Neither do they understand. All right. So you may sit here and if you don't understand the parable of having which is going to get to that, right? The eyes to see and the ears to hear. Read that, then I'm gonna make the point.
Matthew 13 and 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Elias, which said, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and ye shall not perceive. For the people's heart is waxed gross, and their eyes are dull of hearing, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have closed. Least at any time they shall see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them.
Stop right there. So just overall, man, having those your ears, dulled, your ears dulled, and you're having your eyes closed. That's basically you not having understanding of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay, and that's 2/3 of our people. Okay, so again, blessed are your ears and blessed are your eyes to see and hear these things. Because the Lord has again ordained you to have this understanding. Lord willing, for the salvation at the end. That should have been it in that, right? We'll get what you had. You read the Zechariah. Who had the Romans? The Romans 11.
I got that 9:6, which is now Israel.
Yeah.
I got Romans 11 right here.
As Romans 9 verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not of Israel, which of Israel.
They are not all of Israel that are of Israel. Okay, that might go over some people's heads again, but we just sat down and explained to you here in the Zechariah that the Lord, is only dealing with a small remnant of our people, as a whole. Okay. And if they are not all of Israel, that means that they're considered as an enemy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, if you're not a believer, you're not with this word, then you're an enemy of the Lord. All right, so you're gonna have to feel this death by pain. Okay, but Kabar, get that Romans 11. Oh, it's like that was it's like
Romans 11 and 8, right?
Yeah.
7. This Romans 11 and 7. What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
The election have obtained it, and the rest was blinded. All right. Again, backing up what the brother brought out in Matthew 13, that you had. He said that the rest was blinded. All right. So they had their eyes spiritually closed, and they had their ears spiritually, closed as well. That they're not going to receive this information. All right. But keep going on.
This verse 8. According as it is written, the Most High had given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day.
Unto this day. Okay, so things is not going to change. If the Lord has ordained you to not have this information, he's just not dealing with you. Plain and simple. All right. And if you do have this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, pray to the Lord that you may continue to have it, and hold on to the end. All right. And we're going to get that account real quick in Samuel, just to get that out the way. You want this? I want to, before I get it, I'm gonna let you speak. But just speaking on it, because Jake still got the misconception of pretty much being too old in this thing. Pretty much don't think that they can, do this work, just because of what they did in the past, and all these stipulations that they may think that the Lord is holding against them from fully doing the work. All right, and that's not the case. The Lord is going to call who He's going to call.
But that's the whole reason why Yahushua came, because what you had going on back then, right, especially in the book of Romans, right, during the times of Apostle Paul, you had a lot of Israelite foreigners, coming into the fold, thinking that, oh, I've been worshiping other gods, I've been following the ways of the heathen, I can't change this and come in, and which Yahushua came, and He ultimately made that sacrifice to actually have them to be grafted back in, But go ahead, you got it.
Get that a compliment, Brother Shaw.
God, this is 1 Samuel 16:5. And he said, peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto Yahweh. Sanctify yourselves and come with me to sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his son and called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass when they were come, that he looked on Eliab and said, surely Yahweh's anointed is before him. Eliab. But Yahweh said unto Samuel, look, not on his countenance or on the height of his statues, because I have refused them of Yahweh. Statue.
Yeah, talking. 7.
This is 1 Samuel 16:7, and it says, But Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. But Yahweh seeth not as a man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looketh on the heart.
So the Lord looketh upon the heart, all right? So it doesn't matter, what your stature is, One reason, speaking on Saul, they tell you that Saul was tall, dark, and handsome, okay? That he was probably, what they say, he was the most handsome.
He was calmly to look upon.
Calmly to look upon.
One of the most handsome, and he was the tallest in Israel.
He was the tallest in Israel. Okay, so by default, that's eye candy for people, that they would think that, oh man, surely, the Lord blessed him with the looks. He blessed him with this, that, and the third. With his height and his stature. This has got to be, something. And our people still deal with that type of thought process till this day. Okay.
Like the elder always said, we was at camp and we was all 6'4", 6'5", and we wore nice suits, and we had perfect lineups with perfect bushes. They'd have 1 million people at the camp, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because we come in the stead of Yahushua, all right, as it said, he took on the form of a humble servant. But because we look just like Jake. So they despise, they're like, man, them niggas don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
You got it.
Yeah. So, again, just backing up the brother even more, so Jake was to come out and everybody was to look like a 10 out of 10 model that's supposed to be on a magazine. Each brother probably have like 1 million subscribers and followers, and damn near could make a lot of money off of this thing. Okay, but that'll make fool of the ministry. All right, that'll make it would pretty much take the glory away from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay, so the Lord, on the other hand, has now put us in this situation where we don't look like it. All right, we don't look like we're prophets. We don't look like everything that you would think a prophet is to look like. We come from different backgrounds. Some Jays got good vocabulary. Some Jays got speech impediments. And so on and so forth. That you would just completely look over any man that's pushing the work and just look past him and think that, oh, okay, that's just a nigga in the world who thinks that he knows the Bible. All right, but again, what it says at the end of that who was holding that holding the Samuel? Read the latter end of it.
It says, for Yahweh seeketh not as a man seeketh, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looketh on the heart.
He looks on the heart. Okay, so again, who in pretty much You know, he said he looks on the heart. So, you know, how much faith does this man have? You know, when I call him, is he gonna put the work in? All right, is he gonna do the things that I require him to do? Is he gonna be brotherly? All right, is he gonna be loyal to the end? You know, is he gonna be faithful unto the end? All right, these are the things that the Lord has on his checklist that he's checking off. And it doesn't. Sometimes it's not going to come in a beautiful appearance. All right, but this is how the Lord wanted. Okay, but you know, ultimately the other thing that you got to know too is that the Lord used this as a stumbling block. Okay, because that's one thing that the Lord is either it's a parable or it's a stumbling block for people not to get it. All right, because if the Lord was to put us all in that situation, all right, that means that a lot of people would get this, but obviously the Lord doesn't want a lot of people to get this understanding. All right, the Lord wants to X off a lot of people. Okay, so in the kingdom, you know, that's when we're going to get those looks. That's when we're going to get that high stature. You know, to glorify in the Lord of this is what we used to be, and now that we came back to the Lord and everything is you know nice and perfect. All right, now we're going to have these statues and we're going to represent the Lord when we're in the kingdom.
Yeah, because for our stature's sake, hey, this a part of the punishment as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this the smallest we have ever been as a people, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just wanted to throw that in there. The Lord gonna return us back into our full glory. You know.
You can bring it up.
This is 1 Corinthians 1:27, and it says, "But the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and the Most High had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty."
You know, he's read it one more time. So can you stop at the foolish thing? Foolish things of the wise.
This is 1 Corinthians 1:27. "But the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise."
You know, and ultimately, you know, you can say that we are fools for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's sake. All right. Again, you wouldn't think that men, you know, being in the age range of, you know, 20 to 30 or 20 to 40, you know, that these men have this knowledge and understanding. Okay, so again, we're going to look like fools, you know, for the Lord's sake. But this is how the Lord wants everything to operate. Okay, but continue.
"And the Most High had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty."
You know, just to, you know, pretty much balance everything out, you know, and for understanding's sake. Okay, because if the what it said at the end, the great things,
"And the Most High had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty."
The things that are mighty. Okay, so the things that are mighty is pretty much going to be big-headedness. Okay, so if you have that big-headedness and, you know, everything is great for you, you're not going to pretty much even seek the understanding, you know, whether it's coming from somebody that's lowly. You want to say something?
I want to say too, yeah, basically that precept saying is that the Lord, he chose like the underdogs in a sense, man.
Yeah,
Cause yeah, people look at us and think like, we don't know nothing. We're just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
They assume that, but not knowing that, man, we got the wisdom and knowledge, understanding, man, to cut all of these people that seem wise in this world. Scholars, they have great philosophy.
You know, because those scholars, again, they would think that they know everything, you know, and who could, you know, some young men standing on a block, what could they tell me, you know? But the Lord has set up something different, you know. But start getting precepts, brother.
I got one.
Come. You can run the hood.
I'm gonna make this quick point because even what you just said, us confounding these different scholars, right? They spent thousands of dollars, countless years, trying to basically perfect the things that the Lord has given us for free.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even have an inclination on the things that even us brothers, we the younger brothers of the camp, but even us, you see, we're being built up in rapid successions, being able to confound them. And we haven't spent a dime. But you got it.
And backing up your point, you know, brothers say that this rabbit hole gets deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with this information that we're learning right now, it's still a lot more that we, you know, do not know yet. All right, and that's why we doing our study, and that's why we, learning from our elders and apostles. You know, that's why we having these classes, you know, to go into deeper information to learn these things. But again, these people who pretty much paid for this stuff, that's went took college courses and all that, you know, to try to get this information, they still on the surface. You know, they haven't even made any type of way of getting understanding of the Lord. All right. Con, you bring your piece up.
God, this is 1 Corinthians 3:18, and it says, "Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness."
Gone. You know, so this so-called wisdom that you could learn in these universities and, you know, in whatever, you know, other direction that these people, institutions that these people attempt to go to, you know, is really no end all be all. All right, it's not going to benefit you in no type of way. Okay, like the understanding has to come from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It has to be given unto you. You know, the Lord has to sup with you. You know, but you got your precept.
But this 1 Corinthians 4, and I'll start at 9. It says, "For I think that the Most High had set forth us the apostles last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. We are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised."
Read that on that last part one more time.
It says, verse 10, "We are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised."
You know, in us being that spectacle, you know, it just doesn't seem right. All right, it doesn't seem right in the eyes of other people, you know, and they getting all this glory, you know, from the world and from different viewers and things. But for our sakes, you know, doing this thing, you know, I remember Googling GMS, you know, on Google before the you know, pretty much having a lot of this information that I have about, you know, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of GMS. But one thing that popped up was I seen something about bumulites, GMS bumulites. So they're considered GMS as bums, you know, based off of the garments and stuff that we wear. It kind of look like it's makeshift, you know. But and we're not in that same color coordination with these other camps and don't have all of this. But who needs these things? All right, all we need is the wisdom, knowledge, understanding to push His word off. You know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and that goes back to your initial, what you brought out, looking on the outward, but the Lord looking on the heart. Because we don't fit the criteria of the world. But the Lord is judging our spirits. So we can still be servants of the Lord, but the world will look at us like we nobody.
Right.
And I got that word spectacle too.
Come.
Yeah, this the word spectacle in the online etymology. It says public entertainment, specially prepared or arranged display. All right, a public show. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
God. And again, this is work that we're doing right here, man. This is the business of the Lord. All right. So Jake could care less of putting on a show, you know, for y'all, which you get from these other camps. Okay, these other camps that put on what's the people, them purple people, you know, with the Passover and the horses and the concerts that they have, the entertainment, you know, all of these things. Again, making you know, foolery of the Lord's work. You know, we understand in GMS that this is business, man. That we are inheriting some business that we need to hold the fort down, you know, until the Lord comes back. You know, not party and bullshit, you know, and make things seem like what it's not. All right.
Yeah, because ultimately it go back to selling out.
Right.
You know, these dudes have sold out. They receive a benefits from a 501c3 charter, right? And all of that is required into that, all right? That's what it all boiled down to, man. They make gain, all right? Monetary gain from merchandise. That's what I was trying to remember, that word merchandise. You want to say something?
Yeah, because but with them, it's not about what we talking about or what we preaching. It's about how we look, though.
Right.
You know, they don't have the mindset. Which we in the house of mourning, right?
Right.
We're not supposed to have these big glorious garments, right? We're not supposed to have, you know, Jake got all the beads, like everything, you know, they got the whole get up, man. You know, this not what this is, right? And which why the Lord made it of men, all right, of a lower estate on purpose, you know, that have the truth, right? You see,
like you mentioned, hey, Jake had, you know, they do all sorts of crazy events with the Passover.
Yeah.
All right, the Passat is a solemn assembly, man. Man, these dudes had the Passat in a fucking strip club, man.
Yeah.
You understand how off that is?
Right.
Yeah, that's some scumbag shit, man.
Read the truth is on Solomon itself, man.
That's right. This is, man. Hey, it's just like when you look in these industrial prison systems, you can see the man who's actually trying to get out. He keep his same, you know, little basic shit on, right? He probably somewhere reading or doing something like that. But then you had the other inmates in which they're buying designer clothes and got TVs in the cell, right? You know, I even seen photographs. A nigga had a dog in the fucking jail, man. Yeah, that's a man that he don't understand the situation he's in. He don't understand the severity of the situation, man. You in prison, and in like manner, we are in prison. This is a prison sentence. But you got it out.
You know, you made a point that I wanted to speak on. Yeah, you can go. You said something. It's like the Lord willing to come back.
It's Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. It says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Lord Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts."
And the mindset of Jake out here is on a basic level, man. All right, we talking about the ultimate power, the power, you know, of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. So his understanding, you know, we'll never truly get that information. All right. You know, until Lord willing, you know, we reach the kingdom and have, you know, be as one with the Lord, you know. But you know, they got the account with Edris, where Edris was pretty much asking the angel, you know, all these intricate questions, you know, that when the angel basically told him one of the things that, can you weigh fire?
Yeah.
All right, so it was a list of other things too. If brother want to get that account. Second Edris 4.
Yep.
Con. You know, but as he's explaining all these questions, you know, it's going over Edris' head. You know. You want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to make a point on what you're saying. He basically asked him, you know, a bunch of things that pertain to his everyday life,
right?
That he could not explain. And he said, if you can't explain things that you use every single day and that you're supposed to know perfectly, how can you even begin to imagine to explain how the Lord operates or how he thinks?
Yeah, we could run that.
This is 2nd Esdras 4 and verse 5. I'm gonna start at the.
You can start at the top. Yeah.
I'm gonna start at the top. This is 2nd Esdras 4 and verse 1. And the angel that was sent unto me, whose name was Uriel. Before you go.
This is do it have the title name on yours?
No, I got the key.
God, no, you good. Stay in there because I got it in a GNT as well. But in the GNT, the title of it says the human mind cannot understand Yahweh by Shem Yahushua ways. But go ahead. Start from the top.
This is 2nd Esdras 4 and verse 1. And the angel that was sent unto me, whose name was Uriel, gave me an answer and said, thy heart have gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the ways of the Most High.
Stop right there. And you got to know too, your heart goes into your mind, you know, which is your la'ab. You know, you can't think with your heart, so your heart can't go too far. So what he's telling Edris right there is that you thinking way too hard about, you know, some shit that you don't really need to be thinking about. But go ahead.
Then said I, Yea, my Lord. And he answered me and said, I am sent to show thee 3 ways, and to set forth 3 similitudes before thee. Whereof, if thou can declare me one, I will shew thee also the way that thou desirest to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Stop right there. Read that last part. Desire to see.
Verse 4. Wherefore, if thou can declare me one, I will shew thee also the way that thou desirest to see.
So if you pretty much, I'm about to ask you these 3 questions, and if you can answer these questions, you know, I'm gonna give you this information that you've been seeking for, that you're searching for. All right, but ultimately, we're about to see what's gonna happen. Go ahead.
And I shall shew thee from whence the wicked heart cometh. And I said, Tell on my Lord. Then said he unto me, Go thy way, weigh me the weight of fire, or measure me the blast of wind, or call again the day that is past. Then answered I and said, What man is able to do that? That thou shouldest ask such things of me. And he said unto me, If I should go ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the depth, or how many springs are about the firmaments, or what are the outgoings of paradise? Peradventure, thou wouldest say unto me, I never went down into the depth, nor as yet in the hell, neither did I ever climb up into the heaven.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Nevertheless, now have I asked thee, but only of the fire and wind, and of the day wherethrough thou hast passed, and of the things from which thou cannot be separated. And yet canst thou give me no answer of them.
So pretty much, you know, I basically asked you, Uriel was saying that I asked you a easy question of the Lord. This is something very easy that can be answered, you know, and I could have definitely went to more deeper, intricate questions, but you can't answer this. All right, but keep going.
He said, Moreover unto me, thy own things and such are grown up with thee, canst thou not know? How should thy vessel then be able to comprehend the ways of the Most High, of the highest? And the world being not outwardly corrupted, to understand the corruption that is evident in my sight. Then said I unto him, It were better that we were not not at all, than that we should live still in wickedness, and to suffer and not to know whereof.
You can stop right there. The point was really, you can hit it off in 10 and 11. But in the GNT in verse 10, it says, you can't even understand the things you have been familiar with since you were a child. How then can your little mind understand the ways of God Most High? Can someone already worn down by this corrupt world understand the ways of the incorruptible God? When I heard this, I fell face downward onto the ground. Okay, so this is how deep, you know, that this information gets, you know, with the Lord choosing what he chooses, you know, and how he operates. All right, so you can't put yourself on that mindset of, you know, thinking and trying to fully grasp of what the Lord has chosen, you know, to execute his work. All right, he's gonna do that. So all you need to do is do the work. All right, that's plain and simple. Don't let your mind go astray to things that you don't need to be thinking about, man. You know, keep it simple. Keep everything simple in the scriptures. You know, and that's the easiest way to make it out this thing. All right, come. You know, brother say, you know, how you say it, Kabal? That not to be too deep. Yep, you got to be 1 deep. You know, but you could get your precept to shot. You got one? Come.
This is the book of Jude, chapter 8. It's Jude 8 and 13. It says, And now try the Lord Almighty, but ye
shall never know anything. For ye cannot find the depth of the heart of man, neither can ye perceive the things that he thinketh. Then how can ye search out God that had made all these things and know his mind or comprehend his purpose?
Oh.
Nay, my brethren, provoke not the Lord our God to anger.
Read the end of that last verse, not the one.
Come, verse 14. I'm gonna read 14 again.
Yeah,
It
it's on the
says,
latter end of it though. You go ahead.
come, it's for ye cannot find the depth of the heart of man, that of man, neither can ye perceive the things that he thinketh. How then can ye search out God that had made all these things and know his mind or comprehend his purpose?
So again, the Lord created all of us, all right, in the mindsets that we have, the way that we operate, you know, the things that we do in our daily lives, and that's intricate in itself. Okay, you know, even the different amount of hairs on a brother head, you know, they how they physically built, you know, how they look towards this situation differently from another brother, you know, two different understandings of things. Like it can get real deep of how the Lord, you know, have his creations working. Okay.
Yeah, especially when you go into how the Lord creates spirits and he tailor make the spirits and put them in each man's body.
Right.
Right. My spirit is different from this brother. This brother's spirit is different from this brother.
Yeah.
You know, and so on and so forth. Isn't it?
I'll say, shoot, even our lot, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, even our lot, man. Even our lives, hey, man, is different from each other. You know, so yeah, we can't, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know, ask the Lord, like, how a brother does or do that.
Mhm.
Our lots is different.
You know, small things. Like I know specifically about the brother Kashab. The brother likes lukewarm water. You know, he likes room temperature water, and I don't like that type of water. I like ice cold water. You know, but he don't think that way. I don't think that way. But that's just how something as small and simple as that is something that differentiate. How you say
Differentiate.
Differentiate. You know, different brothers. You know. Yeah, the Lord is all about, you know, diversity and having, you know, everything, you know, everything working as one, you know, in a balance in a sense. Okay, but you got your precept. Come.
Oh yeah, I bring it up. This is Rock 3 and 21. You know? It says, seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
Come. Neither search the things that are above thy strength. All right, basically above your pay grade. Okay, so you don't want to do anything extra, you know, where it's going to bug your mind out. All right, because that's what these things will do to you. Okay, the Lord has given you your mind and how you operate for you to handle the things for you to handle, the things that's in your life, the things that's in your path. Okay, another brother's walk or how they operate, you know, saying like an older brother, an elder in a sense. All right, you know, brothers got a small detail of what the elder say that his description is, you know, and the things and the stress that he has to go through. You know, that type of situation for another brother might bug another brother out. All right, that might be way too much work and too much pressure that have to be that a brother has to do. Okay, but again, that's why that's something above your pay grade. That's something that you don't need to be doing, and you're not doing it. All right, so let the elder handle his work, you handle your work, and let the Lord handle his work. All right, don't think too deep of these things.
Yes, this verse 22. It says, but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Verse 23, be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand.
Read the uncurious matters.
Verse 23, be not curious in unnecessary matters.
Be not, one more time. So like,
be not curious in unnecessary matters.
Be not curious in unnecessary matters. All right, which is the moral of the story of what, you know, Jake been speaking about. Okay, like do your job. You know, do your job and do it well. Perfect your job. All right, and that's how you're gonna, receive your salvation. All right, doing everything that is required of you. Okay, but you got the precept, brother.
This is 1 Corinthians
Yes.
2 and 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit of Yahweh, that we might know the things that are freely given us of Yahweh.
Come on, one more time.
Come. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world,
Mm-hmm.
but the spirit which is of Yahweh.
Stop right there. So we have not received, the spirit of the world. Basically how these dumbass heathens and how these niggas operate. Okay, we have a more holy, understanding, from the things in this world and how these people operate, which they ultimately, the end of their operation is going to be death. The end of our operation, Lord willing, we're of that number is going to be, life and being heirs to the throne, everlasting rulership. You know, we keep going.
That we might know the things that are freely given to us of Yahweh.
God, it's freely given. All right. As long as if you pray to the Lord sincerely to these things, you want this information, for you, just to have the basic understanding of the scriptures that comes from the Lord first. Okay, so you have to pray to the Lord to give that, and He's freely going to give that to you. Okay, but yeah, more.
Verse 13. Which things also we speak, not in the words which men's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Ghost teaches, comparing spiritual things with spiritual.
One more time, so like I was.
Come, good. Which things also we speak, not in the words which men's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Ghost teaches.
Come. Yeah. So again, it's the wisdom and knowledge from the Holy Spirit. All right, moving with the Spirit. All right, the Spirit is going to guide your words and guide your thoughts and everything that you need to that suffice you at the end. Okay.
Comparing spiritual things with spiritual.
Con. Get that revelation from me.
This is Revelation 13.
No, three.
Oh, yeah, Revelation 3 and 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in. I will come into him, and I will sup with him, and he with me.
Yeah. Keep going.
To him that overcometh will I grant.
No, Salaki, that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Read again. 3 and 20.
God, this is Revelation 3 and 20, and it says, Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me.
See, if Yahweh Shai comes and knock on that door, all right, which that door right there is your mind. All right, if you allow the Lord to come in and sup with you and give you that understanding, you know what it says?
He said, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me.
Brother, could get that word sup. I see you already got it in already.
Yeah. I was getting the online etymology, but I'll get it in the
I was in the blue letter.
You got it?
But it doesn't say anything about having to pay for it. All right, you don't have to pay for this understanding. All right, you don't have to go try to find a way to give the Lord a couple $1 million, or what Jake could say in these other businesses that they have around here, subscribing for information, subscribing for a breakdown, pay this amount of dollars a month, and I'm going to give you this understanding. The Lord doesn't operate like that. All right, He's dealing with the sincere that if you sincerely want this information and you are of that number, all right, the Lord is going to come and sup with you.
That's that word sup. In the blue letter, it says, in the strong, it says, it's G1172. It says, I will make him to share in my most intimate and blissful intercourse.
Intimate. you know, to get intimate with the Lord ultimately. All right. So as you get intimate with the Lord, you know, He's giving you some of these deep secrets in explaining to you mysteries that a lot of people has longed to get. You know, and that's what supping is. That's the you know, what it means for the Lord to come and sup with you. Okay, He's going to give you the mysteries of the kingdom at the end of the day and what you need for your salvation. Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I think that was it. That was it, Con.
Yeah, this the book of Psalms, chapter 25 and verse 12, and it reads, "What man is he that feareth the Lord? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the earth." This is the point. "The secret of the Lord is with them that fear him, and he will shew them his covenant."
The secret is what it said with them that fear.
Yeah, the secret of the Lord is with them that fear him.
You know, and you know, you got to get that understanding of what fear is. Okay, and that fear is doing nothing but showing that reverence and true love, you know, to the Lord. You know, if you fear the Lord, that means you love the Lord. All right, if you love the Lord, that means that you're doing the work, you're keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. All right, you're doing everything again what the Lord is requiring you to do, and that's how you're going to receive, uh, you know, that consolation of the understanding. You know.
Yeah, I got another one too, but I forget what definition it was you brought out. But it went into a not asking things that really don't have really no importance right now. What's important is salvation. That's all that matters right now. Of course, it's intriguing to think about the kingdom, and right, that's our goal. But as far as like uh what percentage of gold is like where's the gold gonna come from in the kingdom? Like, you don't need to worry about none of that.
Right.
Just that, and that's exactly what Uriel was telling Esdras. Like, that shit, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
It's good to know, but what you need to know is how to gain everlasting life. But I got this precept.
Before
Go
you
ahead.
go real quick, you know, and the things that pertain to that everlasting life, you know, when you're thinking about these things, you know, you should be learning about how to be a better brother. All right, that's something in your pay grade on in the field that you need to be doing. All right, of pretty much understanding the scriptures and performing, you know, performing with the wisdom that you've been given. All right, these are the small things that's placed in front of us to do. So thinking of these things that's way out of your pay grade and that's too high above you. All right, again, like the brother said, it's something good. You know, it's good to know. You know, it's something that'll probably be fun for you to be like, oh man, I got a deeper thought of how the Lord thinks and how He operates, but you still need to go back and complete this test. Okay, these tasks that I have given you. But
Yeah, this 1 Corinthians 13 and 9. And I'm gonna read it in the KJV, then the NLT. It reads, "For we know in part and we prophesy in part." Right? What you want to say though? Oh, Khan. This in the NLT, it reads, "Now our knowledge is partial and incomplete, and even the gift of prophecy reveals only part of the whole picture. But when the time of perfection comes, these partial things will become useless." You see, because what? The first step, like you said, the first step is achieving salvation.
right,
Then what we gonna need to get saved for in the kingdom? You see, that's why it's gonna be rendered useless. Go ahead.
But that's what we know. We know everything in part in pertaining to salvation, man. That's all we need to do. You know.
What is that? 1 John 2:20. It tell you we have an unction to know all things. You see, it's not saying we know every fucking thing. Like, nah, we know everything that pertains to salvation, and that's it. That's everything. On this side, that's as a human being, as a mortal. That's all we need to know, man.
Which go back to that First Corinthians I brought out. He give us whatever we need. And only the knowledge we need to know for salvation. We don't need to know all the deeper meaning. We just need to know what's going to help get us out of here.
Yep.
You got your precepts, Hezekiah.
This is going into backing these brothers up. But it's James 1 and verse 5. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Mm-hmm.
You can go into it.
Yeah, so if you're lacking knowledge, you're lacking wisdom and understanding, you gotta ask of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? And at the minute he's speaking on, going back to James 1 and 1, it's talking about the Israelites, man, and particularly the 1/3, okay, or the elect. Okay, that's the person the Lord is going to give what, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to, man. Like the brothers were saying, that pertain to what, salvation. Okay. I'll go one more, and it says, verse 6, and it says, but let him ask in faith, right, believing, trusting in the Lord, right, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. Right, man. So you know what I'm saying. You can't be, have 1 foot in the truth, 1 foot out. You know what I'm saying. You're trying to bring a different knowledge into the truth. You can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying. You got to be, a straight, full steam ahead for learning the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, of the scriptures, man. You know what I'm saying. And you can't be like, I don't know if it's gonna happen. It might. I hope it do. No, you gotta really believe it's gonna happen. You know. What you got?
Hey, read the next verse. That back up what you just said.
It says, for let not the man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord.
Yeah. So if you wavering in faith, right, you doubting what you asking for, you're not gonna receive anything, man. You know. You got it.
Yeah, that's again pretty much not having faith. That's a big no-no. All right, not having faith in the things that the Lord has given you, to understand, like what we doing. Okay, the Lord has given you this information, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding to build your faith, not to knock it down. All right, so you need to take it as that. All right, if these things that He's teaching me, and the things that I'm learning from His teachers, from the elders and apostles, believe it wholeheartedly in truth, because these are the keys to your salvation, as the brother's been going into. Okay, and you don't want to come in this thing and again don't want to be too deep with anything. All right, you're not coming out here bringing out new precepts that have never seen the face of the earth before. We out here just doing repetitions of the same things over and over. Okay, and so what you're doing that for is to pretty much sharpen up and get stronger and have these words sealed in your mind even more. Okay? But you got some, Bernard? I'm moving down the line. Y'all brothers got precept. You got some?
Yeah.
Bring it up.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 6, and it reads, "For without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him."
John, one more time, brother.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6, and it reads, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him."
John, it's impossible to please Yahweh Bashim Yahushua without faith. All right? So you not having faith, man, that's going to X you out from the beginning. All right? You're going to lose the race before the race even started without having faith. All right? That's the importance of faith. All right? And that's why these things, brother could get that too. Apostle, I forget it in Romans, the faith in the work. James, I think. I know Paul said something else.
Got something quick for you too.
I got it.
Go ahead.
You
got more?
From the top, Hebrews 11:1, it says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Yeah. And faith, you can't see faith. That's the whole intention of believing, man. All right, like the brother opened up with.
I got something to back up what you're saying. So
okay, time. You know, That's the whole purpose of the ministry, is to believe that we're gonna be saved. Believe in Yahweh Shai. Believe in the Most High. We haven't seen him physically, right? But we can see him in the spirit, you know?
Right. I just want to add on to you. It says you must believe that he is.
Yeah.
And what is he? That's his, it says his name.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? He's everything.
He is.
You know, in everything. You know?
You got it.
Con, this to back up everything you just said, bro. This Romans, the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 24. It says, "For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what man seeth, why do he hope? Why do he yet hope for it? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we wait patiently for it." You want to speak on it? Con, but that's just backing up that point that it says if you can see it, it's no point in having hope in it, which is why we need hope, because this is things that we haven't seen yet. But you got it.
Yeah, that's what faith means. That subject to things hope for that we cannot see. That's what faith. That's the whole point of faith. That's what keeps us going.
Just read that.
But hey, in a sense, like I always say, faith is a great motivator for us, man. That's that drive, and that spiritual drive that keeps us going.
Hey, if I could say real quick, because lo and behold, when we actually get the reward for having a faith, it's gonna bust our tops, man. It's gonna blow the roof off our heads, man. You know, for real.
And again, I like to say too, one of my favorite things to kind of reflect on is, again, what the Lord has given us. And these are some of the small inklings of spiritual powers that we have of faith alone. Having faith of somebody that right now we can't even form a full picture, of how we could think of each other. I could think in my head how the Shia looks. I could think of how the Shab looks, how the elder looks, while not looking at them. All right, but all we have is a couple words in the scriptures of how the Lord is described. But from that, just alone, and from all of the accounts that we read, we have to believe these things and know that this is something real and somebody that's really going to come back and save us. All right, so us to even be able to have an imagination, all right, have an imagination to build this picture, for something to keep us pushing and going, like Brother Kabar just said, it's motivation for us. All right, because if we couldn't think of these things or even try to attempt it, all right, we have no motivation to keep going. All right, so again, the Lord is constantly throwing us gems and whatever we need for us to keep our faith high and focused on Him. And we got to get the account with Peter walking on water. That's one of my kind. Yeah, the James 2. Yeah, hold on there. Get that Yeah, read the James.
This is the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 18. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works.
All right. So faith and works go hand in hand. All right. You can't just have one, and say that you believe in the Lord ultimately. All right. So again, if you say that you have faith, all right. So if you have faith and you claim that you have faith, all right, then the question behind it is going to be like, okay, so what have you been doing? What's the works you've been putting in? All right. But if you say on the other hand, yeah, I've been doing this work for the Lord, and but I have no faith, but it doesn't make sense. All right. So that's why those two go hand in hand. Faith and works is part of the keys of your salvation.
Because faith produces an action, right? If you truly believe in something, or you think, all right, well, I'm gonna do something to show that I believe it, right? That's why he said, go ahead.
I would say, well, there's no vision, the people perish.
That's right.
So you don't have no vision of the finish of power what you're doing, you're not gonna finish it.
Right. Just like Apostle Gabar said, you gotta be a visionary, man. The members of the elect gonna be visionaries. They can see the long game, right? They can see the kingdom. They can see Yahweh Shai, right? You have faith in those things, that produces us the action to actually come out and speak on it. come out and prophesy, to tell our people to repent and tell them what's coming, you know? Tell them what the things that we have at hand, man. That's just what faith do, right? Go ahead.
Now, I was just gonna say, you know, a lot of people say that quote unquote they believe on the Lord, but not understanding the word believe is literally a verb, which verbs require action. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the Lord said, they mouth say that they profess the Lord's name, that they love Him, right, and that they you know, they want to worship Him, but in works they deny Him.
Yeah, but when you go into the word believe, it means to have faith,
Right.
or to have confidence, man. So you say you believe something, well, you gotta believe it by having faith in it. You see, you have finished that, James. I think they had one more line in there. Let's see. Because He gonna tell them, look, I'm gonna show you how you have faith, and it's by what? By doing the work. Go ahead.
Because this is James 2 and 18 again. Yea, man say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. You want me to move to 19?
Oh, go back down to 17. That's what I wanted you to start at.
This is James 2 and 17. Even so, faith, if it has not worked, is dead being alone.
Yeah, so if you say you got faith, right, but no action, like I just said, no action is produced behind it, well, that means you don't really have faith. If I truly believe something, I'm going to go do something to show I believe in it, man. It's a sacrifice that's required, or that got to be made to show I believe in it, you know? Go ahead. You got it. Yeah.
I just had a quick one.
Yeah, you said you want to back him up.
Yeah, just real quick. This 2 Corinthians 4 and 13 to back you up, Rashad. It says, we having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believe, and therefore I have spoken.
Yes, brother.
We also believe, and therefore we speak. Because that faith requires what? Action behind it. You got it, bro.
Yeah, that faith requires action. All right. That's one of the things that we're doing right now. That we're giving our bodies as living sacrifice. All right. That's an example of faith right there. All right. That we're willing to come out here and put our life on the line, regardless of, you know, who may see it. All right. Brothers out here at any time, you know, can have one of their co-workers or a boss or something out here, and you get fired and this and that and the third. In so many scenarios, you know, even with things that comes with life or death, you know, they could have somebody that come out here and just completely hate this entire way of thinking and believing and just want to offer, brothers. All right. So that alone is faith in us out here doing this work, is an example of us exercising our faith in the Lord, that we don't care about none of these things. We have the understanding of these things that of the possibilities, but you know, we understand that the reward from the Lord is the most important thing. You know, fuck what happened to us. You want to say something?
Yeah, you can speak.
Hey,
I gotta
real quick, because sometimes you got to go to a lower level for Jake, right? Mm-hmm. Jake go to work every goddamn day, right? But you got faith. Look, the money ain't hit your account.
Right.
You can go online 3 days before you get paid, see how much you're gonna get paid. Mm-hmm. But that money ain't hit that account yet.
Right.
But you believe it's gonna be there though, right? So you're gonna continue to do what? You're gonna go to work. Mm-hmm. You see, that's the action that's being produced. But you tell Jake, look, you just gotta plow, right? You gotta plow, you gotta work, you gotta do the work, right? You gotta read, you gotta study. Jake gonna say, well, like Peter asked, what's the reward that we're gonna get in Matthew the 19th chapter? Yep. You see, we doing all this action, but when it come to this, it's hard for Jake to do it, man. You know, but
no, I won't say this because he asked him what he was gonna get, you know, the reward, and obviously he told him, look, this was gonna happen. Well, he said, this is what you're gonna receive. Yeah. He ain't say, oh, I'm gonna place you here. This how tall you gonna be, and I'm gonna make your crown like this. Yeah. You know, he ain't going to the details. Yeah. He told him, look, you gonna get paid. That's it. And that's the same thing with like you say, the analogy with the job. Yep. You know you're gonna get money. Yeah. It ain't gonna be nothing else but that. Exactly. You know? Yeah, I got a quick one. This 2 Ezra 15:1, and it reads, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord. and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all unfaithful, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Yeah, because you brought in not only the kingdom, right? But what? A life and death situation. You see? So just like you was making the point beautifully, all right, Jake, we sitting ducks out here, bro. All right, it's prophesied that uh um these devils gonna come after us. It's prophesied that we gonna be hated. All right. So what? We have faith that the Lord gonna keep us away from trouble, man. Right? He gonna deliver us from all troubles. And that's why I said, let the unfaithful die in their unfaithfulness, because they don't believe, man.
So with that alone, that's why the Lord gives you, let you know through the scriptures that through all of these things, if you make it through this, that's you showing me your faith and your works. Okay, and I'm telling you that if you endure these things, this is how you're gonna receive that crown. Okay, and it's plain and simple. Wait, so like get that the Romans from me, then we're gonna come back down. God, this is Romans 12 and 1, and it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. One more time. Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of power, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And keep going, brother, you get reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you prove what is that good, that acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. God. And this is that acceptable sacrifice, that pleases the Lord. All right. They got another one. It slips my mind. Of the Lord saying that basically putting your life on the line for your friend. Yeah. John 15, I think. Probably shot somebody can get that. Like 15 to 14. Because we know ultimately that the Lord, He has done that for us. Okay, so if you have, you got that John? Yeah. Con. That. It's like read the precept again, and then we're gonna get that. I'm starting to lose my train of thought. Yeah, hold that definition. We're gonna get the precept, get the definition, then we're gonna get the John. Gotta slow things down a bit. 14. Right, no, the Romans 12. All right, Romans 12 again. This is Romans 12 and 1, and it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Most High, which is a reasonable service. And be ye not conformed, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, that acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. Because obviously the things that we was taught in this world is not the true sacrifice, that the Lord requires. Okay. Well, what's one of the things that specifically that comes to mind that people think is a sacrifice is going to church on Sundays. All right, you go to church for 2 to 3 hours just to hear a pastor, speak for about 30 minutes, and then have pianos and music playing for the rest of the couple hours. People think if I go do this every week, this is my reasonable service that I have to do into the Lord, and then that's how I get into heaven with the white clouds and the golden gates and the white babies. This is where all of this comes from. But by being changed, the renewing of your mind and understanding what is the true will, we understand this is what it is. God. We understand that this is the sacrifice that we're doing. Actually putting our life on the line and showing the Lord that we love Him. Okay? But get that definition, then we're gonna get that done.
Yeah, they got to split up, the word split up, but I could get service though.
Wait, because it tell you in Romans, the 9th chapter, about when they say who are Israelites who pertain to adoption, right? Yeah, and it tell you the service of the Most High. That's gonna tell you what the service of the Most High is.
Yep. Get the two. Yeah, that goes that. Get the regular Google definition.
Okay.
Let
me type in the whole reasonable service.
Yeah, just type of reasonable service. We gonna pop up. I think somebody else got it. You gotta get that scripture.
Yeah, let him grab it.
Yeah, Kyle.
I got it, though.
Get the definition real quick, then we're gonna get that.
Yeah, this is reasonable service in the AI overview. It says quote unquote reasonable service has two main meanings. It can refer to the quality and standard of service expected in a commercial context, meaning fair, justifiable, and in line with industry norms.
Stop right there. So again, that's fair in itself. If the Lord putting his life down and we doing the same thing, we're putting our life down for him. That's something that's fair. Okay? So keep going.
It says, alternatively, it originates from Romans 12:1 in the Bible, where it describes the logical, intelligent, and wholehearted dedication of one's body and life to the Most High as a spiritual sacrifice in response to his mercies. Let me say that in the NLT too.
And that's crazy because this is my first time actually really looking at the reasonable service, as in two words for the definition, but that's smoke. All right, says it describes the logical, intelligent, and wholehearted dedication. All right, so we wholeheartedly is willing to put our life down, Lord willing, brothers continue to have that mindset that we make it to the end, but that we were going to put our life down for the Lord, but you can run it, the ball.
Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
That's the whole duty of man. Fear the Most High. Fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua and keep his commandments. That is the whole duty. All right? That could go back into early in the conversation as well, too, with keeping things simple. These are the only things that's required, for you to do. This is what the Lord requires you to do,
Yeah, then the things that's being commanded of us is according to the scriptures. Was a matter of fact, in the scriptures say strive unto truth or to death.
Yeah.
Say back then what you were saying, we laid down life for this, man.
You got that? Oh, you got it?
This is the book of John, chapter 15 and verse 13. Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
No greater love, okay? And you just got to imagine that on so many, the ways that we can't imagine it, all right? We see these things in movies, read it in books and stuff like that. And usually moments like that be one of the most saddest moments that you see. But you always walk out of that movie of like, man, I fuck with what he did. That was an honorable way to die. The way that he put his life on the line. Jake jumped in front of the bullet. Jake took all the bullets that was supposed to kill this one dude. He got everybody out and he sacrificed himself. There's always that honorable death that men would think that, okay, that's a good way to go out. All right, that's the way I would like to go out, and if I was to fall in these situations, yes, I would like to just make it out overall, but if I can save my brother, by putting my life down, I want to do that, But you want to say something?
Yeah, because we just went into that, me and the brother Quashad, right? Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, all right? Which when you understand, just like you brought out in those movies, when a person sacrificed himself, that at that point be a critical point.
Yeah.
It's either the movie end right here, or you get the person sacrifice himself and then the movie continues. That sacrifice allows, right, the rest of the story to continue.
Right.
And that's what Yahweh Shai did basically.
Yep.
He sacrificed himself for us to be right here, right now, doing this very same thing. You see?
Which backs it up beautifully because when you went into the service, which is, I believe it's a privilege, all right, to even have the chance of worshiping the true power.
Con.
That's the service is just worshiping, right? What you had read in the definition?
I read. I got it right here.
Go ahead.
It says where it describes the logical, intelligent, and wholehearted dedication of one's body and life to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua as a spiritual sacrifice in response to His mercy.
A response to His mercies, and we obtain mercies through the Lord Yahweh sacrifice. That's the only way we obtain the mercy. You know, you gotta do it.
Yep. And again, it's funny, you know, how the Spirit works, and it's wrapping full circle to the beginning of the lesson of being thankful and grateful for the situation that we in. All right, because the Lord didn't have to put His life down for us. You know, we always go into it. The Lord could have. I think you brought it out maybe like 2 weeks ago when He basically told Moses that, man, I'm basically about to just kill everybody, and I'm about to start over with you. We know that the Lord could do these things. All right, but for you to not be grateful for the situation that He has you in, you know, to push His work, you know, to show that brotherly love while we can, you know, while we're with each other. Because one thing, man, I definitely learned this for sure, you know, in my many things that I've you know, walked through, but especially in this truth too, that saying that you don't really know what you have until it's gone. All right, that's something that's really big and deep. And you know, I myself, and you know, maybe I can speak for you other brothers as well if you ever went through it, you know. But that's a feeling like no other. That feeling of regret of like, damn, this is really gone now, and I can't do the things of how I was supposed to do it. All right, that hurts. All right, but
Because Jake be having things at their disposal and not really valuing it. You know, you have something, like you said, you won't know the true value of something until you lose it. What if you lose the Spirit of the Lord, brother?
that's why you can't play with it.
That's why you can't play with it,
Right.
know? You gotta honor the privilege that we got. You gotta go.
I just wanted to get the quote. This is you don't know what you have, you going in AI overview. It says you never know what you have until it's gone is a common is it idiom?
Yeah.
Idiom. People often don't appreciate the value of something like a loved one, their health, or possession until they have lost it. It highlights the tendency to take things for granted or become complacent with them while they are present, only to realize their true worth in the pain of their absence. The saying serves as a reminder to cherish and show gratitude for the good things in life while you still have them. And this is the best thing that we have. This ministry is the best thing that the Lord could ever have shown forth to us, you know? So this is the biggest jewel, richest, whatever that we've been searching for our entire lives. All right, and brothers gotta remember that and keep that on the forefront of their mind of not fumbling this opportunity. This is a one in a lifetime, you know. And I think about the image of you only get one shot. Do not let the chance to flow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, you know. So don't fumble this. Don't lose it, and don't take it for granted, man. All right, while you can still put your hands on the plow to work. You know, while you can still hit a brother up, call the brother. The brother was just going to tell, you know, before camp started, you know, it is going to come to the point in time that we ain't going to be able to come to the block no more. That we ain't going to be able to post our videos and do everything on YouTube, you know. So while you have the chance to do it, go all out, you know. Make your mark here. Make it known that I went all out while I had this. And then when the Lord put that next, you know, route in lane that you need to do, you know, then you go wholeheartedly in that too. You know, you just keep going hard as hell, you know, until the Lord blows the whistle, you know, and get us the hell out of here.
I got something
come
too.
down.
This is John chapter 9, verse 4. It says, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day, for the night cometh when no man could work.
Yeah, I was looking for that precept too. Read it one more time.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's like
You good. This John 9, verse 4, it says, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work.
The night cometh where no man will work. All right. Meaning, you know, it's going to be a point in time, again, that we know that it's the Lord's business that we're operating in right now. But we know it's going to come a point in time where all this is going to be shut down, right? Just as I was going into. We know that it's going to be a point in time where this is going to be completely shunned, and a lot of people is going to have targets on our heads. And again, what we just was talking about with the making your body a living sacrifice, where it's going to be people that's going to have a red dot on your head. You're going to have a target on your back, you know? And that's when everything is going to be ceased. You know, the Lord is going to close the mouth of his prophets to ultimately keep them safe. All right. The Lord knows that in that situation, like brothers go into in the middle of JT, brothers not gonna be out there, you know, reading scriptures, running for their life. Right. You know, at this point in time, we're gonna be having this, Lord willing, we're gonna have this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, you know, locked in our minds, you know, for the stability, you know, when all of these things are happening. But again, the Lord knows to take care of us, and there's gonna be a point in time, you know, when he's just gonna shut this thing down, you know.
I had one, but yeah, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, and verse 44, and it reads, "Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in the field, the which, when a man had found, he hid it, and for the joy thereof, goeth and selleth all that he had, and buyeth the field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it." You see, and I brought, and that's red letters, Yahushua speaking. All right, because you made a point. You were saying, hey, go all out for this truth. And it's saying the kingdom of heaven, but where does the kingdom of heaven start? Right here in his ministry. You see? So, hey, do all you can. You don't get the chance. It said it was a treasure hid in the field. Man, that the odds of finding a treasure in the field is like 1 in a million, and you found that. Yeah, a needle in a haystack. You know the joy you feel when you accomplish that. That's a great feat. So to have this truth, like you went, like the premise of this video, right? To basically appreciate your opportunity in this truth, man. You know, but I just wanted to bring that out to support that. You got it out.
God, this is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 10, and reads, "Wherefore, but rather, brother, get diligent to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you should never fail."
You should never fail, right? Plain and simple. You should never fail, making your calling and election sure. And we just
can't leave that out. If
con, you know, but you know, and we just went through and spoke down a list of things that's required, you know, and it's really not too much, you know. It's not grievous, you know, roughly paraphrasing, you know. It's the I forget how that's. I'm trying to still paraphrase in my head. Yeah. If you could get that,
you know where it's at.
1 John 5:3.
They got one in Matthews too. I think that's what we're talking about.
But you know, it's not grievous. The Lord gives us the play-by-play booklet and the blueprint of how to walk and how to operate, man.
No.
You know, you do these things and that's it. But you got it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this 1 John 5:3. It says, "For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous."
And the brother Kabal brought out, you know, in the Ecclesiastes chapter 12, you know, that's the whole duty. The whole duty of man is to keep law, statutes, and commandments. But what does that say again?
"For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous."
So we know what the duty is. We know that that's how you show love to the Lord. He's telling you that it's not grievous, right? And to try to get that word grievous, you know, just for edification's sake. But you know, it's plain and simple. You know, yeah, more than that.
If I could just say it real quick, because the word grievous is just meaning a burden, right? So when something grievous to you, it's a burden to you. And the commandments is not a burden to us, you know. You got it?
Kind of, yeah, it's that word grievous. The strong G 926. it's heavy in weight. Metaphor, burdensome. That's the main point. It said burdensome, man.
God,
It's not a burden.
it's not a burden, man. This is the law, statutes, and commandments is life to us. All right, that's what separates us from the heathen and the these niggas in the world. Okay, that's why this is a holy I can't think of the word like, but just a holy congregation of the Lord. You know, God, you know, just the.
I got more in that definition.
Go ahead.
It's a verb, a stern, which is another for stern, strict.
Yeah.
Like how people, all the Jakes like say, oh, GMS too strict.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah. But
Salaki, brother.
go ahead.
If I can make a point real quick, because what makes the commandments, right? What makes it strict is the wickedness of the world.
Yep.
When you put everything that's good in the scriptures, it's easy. Righteousness is easy.
Yeah.
But when you're living in a world full of wickedness, that makes the righteousness hard. Because by default, if everybody on the earth that's dwelling in the earth has been rehearsing in wickedness, then by default, you going against the grain, which
Right.
makes it difficult.
Yeah, definitely.
You see, and that's why Jake think, oh man, the true hard, well, to keep the commandments to the best of our ability, you know, we still go off. But Jake just willingly just go off because it's hard to go against the grain, you know? And that's why I said James 4:4 to be a friendship with the world is enmity with the Lord.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the world is full of wickedness, man. And wickedness is an enemy of the Most High, you know?
Yeah,
Go ahead, bro.
that's a beautiful point that you made. You know, going against the grain, because you got to think too. This is something that Jake pretty much came out the womb. You know,
Yeah.
sinning,
Born into wickedness, bro.
born into wickedness. You know, born sinners. You know, that was us coming to this truth. You know, and still sin to this day,
Yeah.
because that's what this whole entire queendom of Esau Edom, you know, pretty much describes. You know, do as thou wilt. You know, be your own God. Do everything that you want to do to whoever you wanted to. All right. And I'm going to set up these laws, my laws, you know, which if you have enough money or if you have enough motion and power that you don't really have to listen to these things, you know, just freely, just do what the hell you want.
Yeah, that's why I tell you in Isaiah the 24th chapter, he transgressed the laws. He changed the ordinances.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
God.
And who's the main culprit of that, man? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That brother gotta want to back up what you were saying too.
Come. You got it.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 29, and it reads, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls."
God.
Go hit the last one.
30, verse 30, and it reads, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light."
God. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. All right. And this is again, brother could get that in Corinthians too, that basically the Lord will give you nothing that you can handle, that you can.
I could speak on that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Now I just wanted to say because, hey, bro, we see each other twice out the week. All right. It depends, but for the most part, right? We got 2 mandatory camps, but besides that, man, Jake go and do his own thing, go to work and come home. Obviously we spend an hour one day and then 2 hours on another day. Bro, your time ain't, and then we at camp for what, like 3 hours? Man, you ain't really kind of burdened at all. That's why I say it's light, man. All of these things that we're learning and we're preaching about, these are things that promote life. So even on a whole nother sense, it's helping you. So it's really not even a burden at all.
It's relief.
It's relief.
Yeah. This is what they call it, the therapeutical. Yeah. This is the therapy that we get to escape the world. You know, this little instance right here, brother, kind of I don't know if you said that. But
What's that?
This is the glimpse of the
It's
kingdom.
the kingdom here,
This is the
right
kingdom
here.
right here of the things that we are handling right now.
It start here. Let me say that.
That's what you said.
It
You know,
starts here.
It starts here. Okay, so again, us here having an opportunity to be around each other to do these things, like the brother said, it's not burdensome. All right, but then it's going to come until times where when you really going to have to exercise your faith, and when shit start to get crazy, Jake might get jammed up and might have to go sit down in jail behind us, and things like that. When more crazy matters start to happen, where it seemed like, all right, now this is some bullshit. All right, obviously you still gonna have to push through it, but again, this is a luxury that we have right now. Of another reason of not taking this shit for granted. You know,
I got that from right there.
kind of Bobby Shaw grab it.
Kind of.
No, so like what it is?
First Corinthians verses.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Kind of. This 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, it says,
You got something?
there had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
That you may be able to bear it. All right. So the Lord is not putting us in any type of situation that, if He's with you, if the Lord is with you, He's not doing anything for your destruction. All right. It's going to be for a lesson for you need to learn or something like that. But ultimately, again, He's always going to make a way out. All right. He's going to give you what you need to operate. And if He haven't given, what you needed at that point in time, He probably gave you another experience before time for you to know how to handle the situation. All right, which still falls in the boat of Him giving you what you need in a way out to capitalize on whatever situation that you may be in.
He also give you brothers.
Yeah.
The brotherhood, man.
God.
So, Jake saying that, oh man, I can't keep up with y'all fellas and, different things of that nature, that's really a pass to go back into the world.
God.
You get what I'm saying?
But that's Jake's problem. Jake always looking for a pass to go back in the fucking world, Just man up and say, look, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah, like a man.
Just do it like a man. Jake be looking for excuses, be looking for the smallest little thing to just blow up, just to go back to the world, man. Go ahead, brother. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's the coward's way out. Y'all brothers remember that on Call of Duty when you get knocked down, it asks you, would you like to take the coward's way out? And that's what Jake won't take the coward's way out, man. The burden not light, but you still got to work, because this is a corporation, it's a business. You see, this is your how about Shimmy Our Shy business. You ain't no laying on legs here, man.
If I could say though, but then you will have, somebody let their job work them dog till they dog ass. They're halfway in the grave, bro.
Yeah.
The job though, but yeah, how is you gonna quit the truth, man?
All right, get that from me, Bobby Shaw.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 32, verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
One more time.
All right. Sirach 32 and 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
He finds an excuse to his will. He will not be reproved. Okay. So, again, on what brother's going into, Jake is gonna find the coward's way out, like the brother was going into. All right. A simple man is going to find that coward's way out. He's not going to be reproved for the situation, which every situation can be talked about. Yep. That's the whole thing. All right. And I was thinking about that precept. I believe it's the Matthew 19 when it goes on, when it speaks about counsel.
18.
18.
I believe so.
When you have gained a brother.
Let me look at it.
Oh yeah, Matthew 18.
Yeah, Matthew 18.
Yeah.
Get that for me. But you got it.
I'm in 18.
I think it's like 15 or something like that. Somewhere in the middle.
And that all go back to having faith too, though. Because if you have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, then you should have faith that He has given the men up before you and ahead of you, the proper counsel, right, to give to you. You see, the Lord don't come and speak to no direct man, so it got to come from somewhere. Hey, Kalaya, don't do that anymore. The Lord not about to open the clouds and just tell me that. No.
Jake talking about when the Lord came to me and he told me, hey, you better start fucking doing this.
Nah,
Man.
that ain't how it works.
Man, the Lord ain't never came to nobody like that. Even when you go to, it's so deep, even when you go with Adam, man. When he spoke to Adam,
prophets,
that was
man.
prophets, man. The Lord ain't physically come to Adam and say, oh, Adam, I'm about to tell you because you sinned. No, man. When you go into the cool of the day, all right, that's talking about the prophets, man. The prophets was back then in the time of Adam, and they rebuked Adam, man.
Yep.
You know,
Before shit hit the fan.
Before shit hit the fan.
That was the cool of the day.
Yeah, and that's why Jake, I just don't get, right? Why Jake can't understand that the Lord still, like I tell you in Luke 1:70, all right, that He spake by the mouth of His holy prophets.
That's right.
Since the world began. So the Lord ain't gonna change that, man. You know, but go ahead, brother. That really fucking pissed me off, man. You know, go ahead, bro.
18 and 15, and then after you read about 18.
I got that. Matthew 18.
Yeah.
What you want me to start at? 15?
15, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. This is Matthew 18 and 15. It says, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. And if he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
And again, you know, backing up the point that I just mentioned, you know, the Lord, this is why the law, statute, commandments are for us. All right, it's what it says. It's 613.
Yeah,
613 law, statutes, and commandments in the scriptures. Not just the 1 through 10. All right, but all of these things are things that we're supposed to live by and how we're supposed to operate. So in these things, this situation right here, the Lord tells us how to handle a situation of button heads. All right,
but this is the law on it.
Right.
It's not written in the Deuteronomy and Leviticus.
Yeah.
This is the law on it. This is how to handle it. This is the law.
Right.
This red last your house shot. Go ahead.
Nah, because you know Jake sometimes get confused. Yeah, that's the technical laws, right?
Yeah.
Hey, but when you go into that word precept, it's telling you basically the things that are written in the scriptures. Somebody get precept. The word precept in the online etymology.
Get it in,
Yeah, commandment. All of these are commandments. The whole scriptures is commandments, bro. We're commanded to follow those things, man.
And you know, again, that's what the Lord has for us to operate everything smoothly. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these heathens don't have these law, statutes, commandments, and that's why they rule unruly. All right. That's why this devil judicial system, justice system has so much flaw, because it's judged on biases. You know, you could be biased to a situation. All right, you could get you know a certain amount of people in there that really just don't like this nigga because he's a nigga. So I'm gonna vote against that. All right, I don't feel like I got something against the color blue, and if I see somebody wearing it, it's going to trigger something that happened in my past that I just don't like the situation, so I'm a judge unrighteously with it. There's so much room for flaw, and obviously this is just bullshit that I'm just speaking of, but it's hypothetically, kind, the water for the word. You know, hypothetically speaking, you know, but in this situation right here, the Lord is giving you and giving us, you know, how to rule correctly and have everything in order. The Lord is all about order and balance of things.
Yep.
All right, and he's not an unrighteous judge. So why should we be? If we are looking to be heirs to the throne, why should we handle a situation, you know, unrighteously? All right, the Lord just already let you know it's going to be a recompense if you do anything like that. If you stray away from these laws, statutes, commandments, and do what you want, you know. But
I got more. You want to get that word precept out the way?
Yeah. Who had it?
What you got?
I had precept.
Etymology?
Yeah.
Bring it out, because he got the one in the blue letter too.
Okay.
It's that word precept in the online etymology. It says commandment or direction given as a rule of action. But yeah, commandment.
Commandment of what?
Commandment or direction given as a rule of action. That's the solution right there.
Done.
Jake, but see, the Lord ain't give Jake no fucking wiggle room. Jake could tell you, oh, that ain't in the law. No, man, the whole book, precept upon precept, line upon line, man. Hey, all of those are precepts. The whole Bible is
The whole
precepts.
Bible is precepts,
So it's all
brother.
commandments.
Yes.
Just hold through your man. Keep his commandments.
Right. And they even got, you know, accounts of specifically with Apostle Paul. You know, Apostle Paul let you know when it came with dealing with women, you know, and the reason why he didn't deal with women, he just gave you sound advice.
Yeah.
All right, this is sound advice that, you know, this definitely could be beneficial, you know, to people that have problems, you know, at this point in time. All right, but do you not have to deal with the situation? I mean, do I just tell you, is that the law to not deal with women? No, that's contrary of what the Lord told us to do. He told us to be fruitful and multiply, so therefore we have to deal with women. But it's still sound advice to keep you in line and work for your crown. Both of y'all, but get about
I want to say too, even the book of Sirach, it's
Yes.
full of like, how we should conduct ourselves.
Yep.
Proverbs,
Yeah,
Ecclesiastes, they was all written by the same person for the same purpose.
Right. You got your point.
No, I just was going to say that, you know, according to, you know, the book of Corinthians, those people had a lot of problems with fornication, adultery, you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why he was telling us, like, man, y'all can't stop being wicked. You need to not even deal with, you know, such women, man.
Because it's a season, right? It's a season for different things. All that advice that Paul gave, all that advice that's in the scriptures, it tell you that in Ecclesiastes.
Come on, man.
That to every purpose under the sun, it's a
3 and
time
1.
and it's a season, man.
Right.
You know, but you got it. I still got the rest of that.
Yeah, we just gonna get into it. I was just, you know, diverting to those situations
That's spirit.
Yeah. You know, just because it's not in the first 10, you know, doesn't mean that you don't have to listen to it. It's not considered as a law, as the brother brought out with the definition of precept. But you got it, Michelle.
It's back in Matthew 18, verse 16. It says, "But if you will not hear thee, then take with thee 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, then let him be to thee as an heathen man and a publican."
And, you know, brothers witnessed it. You know, we witnessed a situation like that, and that's obviously written because this is something that's obviously been going on in Israel. It's part of our custom. All right, so it's been men that go against the grain when it comes to certain counsel of things, and it just gave you either this going to happen or that's going to happen. Either you're going to gain a brother who's going to have the understanding and he's going to keep on going, you know, and brother's not going to hold that over your head. We're going to just expect you to work and better yourself and, you know, not dwell on that situation, you know, or you're going to go out as a nigga, you know, and pretty much have the Lord not going to really want no type of dealings with you. But in that same thing, jump down to 20, and it's going to back up a point that Kalaya had.
God, it's verse 20, Matthew 18 and 20. It says, "For what 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them."
There am I in the midst of them. So in that sense right there, you know, and the brothers, you know, mentioned it as well, that you don't believe, you know, that the men that's in front of you is sent from the Lord. All right, that's basically you knocking the Lord by not believing in what these men are telling you. If we sit here trying to give you sound counsel about something and you don't want to hear these things, you don't want to sit down and talk to these things, that means you obviously don't believe anything that you've been reading about overall.
Nah, but Jacob say, hey, that's the spirit. You just seen 144 on the fucking license plate.
Right.
But then you don't think it's the spirit when the Lord get on an issue that you've been having with amongst the body?
Right.
Like, come on, bro. Like, Jay gotta stop playing, bro. That's bullshit what Jay be doing, bro. Jay can say that's the spirit all day long about some, like, you know, I wouldn't even say petty shit, but there's more serious matters. And Jacob be like, no, that's some nigga shit you doing. Like, nah, bro, the Lord getting after your ass.
Yeah, that's the spirit, but you don't know the spirit when it's right in front of you. You know, in other words, what the brother saying, you know, you can say that, but you know, still in that situation right there, you know, that's why you have to go back and pretty much reflect on these things. You know, you have to reflect on what was given because obviously in the heat of the moment, nothing feels good.
Right.
In the heat of the moment of things, it's going to feel like damn it, combat is about to happen. You know, that's just the how we are built out here, man, as men. You know, as lions. Yeah, when voices get to raising, that means that adrenaline start pumping, and that adrenaline right there is damn near close to feeling like you about to punch somebody in the face. All right, but obviously we know we don't do that dealing with brothers, but we're gonna sit here and we're gonna have this conversation, and then if it's still intensity is still high, we want to part ways for a bit, but reflect on this, reflect on that, and then come back and continue to get more understanding on the situation rather than storm out and just say fuck everything, you know?
And see, the Lord don't play that.
Yeah.
Right? Because the Lord will stop you from receiving your blessings at the Passover. You feel me? And different things of that nature. He don't fuck around like that, bro. Not in his business, not in his house. I know you brothers ever some of you brothers may have not, but been in a house where it's been discord with you and another person, the whole atmosphere in the fucking house off.
Yeah.
And the Lord won't have that, man.
Right.
Because he's the supreme ruler. He rules this house. Not any of us, man. You know?
If I could just say real quick before you get your precept, you know, that at least intensity in the room and just distress overall of a place that it's not enjoyable for nobody. All right, so you making this harder for everybody else, not just yourself. All right, so now you're being selfish. You know, you being selfish and thinking of your thinking like your boy David Ruffin. You think you bigger than the band. You know, you think that whatever happens doesn't apply to you. You know, and your shit don't stink, and that you just not going to offend nothing, and you just don't want to hear no type of counsel behind it. But counsel is needed. Jake, we are not all right out here, man. You know, Jake still have a lot of things in the world that needs to be cleaned off of us. You know, as brothers say, that the impurities. We still have impurities on us, being the Jews of the Lord, that still needs to be cleaned off, and it's not a one-day process. All right, some brothers need to get counseled once, and that's it. Some brothers don't need to be counseled at all. Okay, but some brothers probably need to get canceled 3 or 4 times. They need to get, the saying, they need to have to fall on their ass for a minute, have to get knocked in the head for the understanding really to come. All right, but you can't run from it. All right, but you got your precept, Cousin.
This is Sirach 20 and verse 1. It says, "There's a reproof that is not comely."
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Again, some man holdeth his tongue, and he is wise."
Yeah.
Right. So there's a correction that's going to come across as feeling negative to you in the spirit, man. That's why the scriptures tell you, basically be angry, but sin not. You know what I'm saying? But when you're harboring up, mixed emotions within yourself, which that's nothing but Satan, man, he's going to get the better of you every single time. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be something somebody says or somebody does that's going to be, be offensive at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, that's just the nature of us being around each other, man. Everybody has a different spirit, you know what I'm saying? And we're all lions,
And so, go ahead, make the point.
No, because we're going to
get the
I
next
had
word.
that. We're going to
Get the next word. I know. I was going to go through
Yeah, because reproof is the same thing as rebuke, right? And it's not common. Look, listen, I've been rebuked multiple times, brother.
Yeah.
It's not common. You get a rebuke and you sitting there, you just like, yeah, I don't think this right, but you getting rebuked. But then when you go and evaluate, look down the line, like, yeah, that was right.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to understand when the Spirit of the Lord talking to you, this is why I say, this is why we believe that we dealing with the true men of the Lord. Because if a brother rebuking you, reproving you about something, well, you got to sit there and think about, man, this the Lord telling me this. This the Lord correcting me. Go ahead.
And that's why I actually bring out the 18 and 20.
God.
So if 2 or 3 in or more are in, you know, that in the midst. It's like in a gathering, that means that the Lord is in the midst. So you have to truly believe, and that goes on a reflection, because, you know, brothers can say that as well. And being a person that's been rebuked before, you have to go back and reflect on these things. And yeah, it hurts. It hurts to get cut. It hurts in a physical form or the spiritual form. It hurts to get cut. So once you get cut, you know, the one beautiful thing that the Lord has for this is that He's not going to just let you bleed out if you don't pretty much if you it's like I'm hitting a brain fart.
This
I got preach up for you, bro.
I got it.
Kai, go ahead. I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's
get it.
something like verse 2.
It come
It
right
says, "It is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly,
Mhm.
and he that confesseth his fault shall be preserved from hurt."
And it's like it just came to my head.
back. Yeah,
It just came to my head. Yeah. So, you know, in the instance, if you're going to get cut, you know, if you are looking to be reproved, if you're looking to in your spirit that you want to continue in this thing, the Lord is going to heal that wound. Okay. But on the other hand, if you just had no desire of being in this thing anyway, you know, and you always had intentions on walking out and looking for the first opportunity to walk out, the Lord is going to cut you and have you bleed out in the world, you know. But you want to say something?
I got it in the GNT real quick.
Yeah.
Sirach 20:1, you read 2 already, right?
Yeah, I read it too.
It's
It's like,
Sirach.
you can
Oh,
no, read it again. It's like,
you want me to read 2 again?
yeah, read it
This
again.
is-
Then
All right, this is verse 20 and 2. It says, all right, 20 and 2, it says, it is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly, and he that confesseth his fault shall be preserved from hurt.
you got it.
Keep just finish it out. Then I'm gonna read it in the GNT. You would go down to verse 3. God damn. You can go down to 7.
7. Okay. It says, how good is it when thou art reproved to show repentance, for so shalt thou escape willful sin.
Yeah, it said how good is it when you getting reproved and be like, man, you know what? You right. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Cause what? You showing yourself to repentance, right? And you repent from it, right? And you come out better,
Yeah.
right? Like we read in Matthew 18. You see, if he shall hear thee, then thou hast gained a brother.
Yeah.
You see, cause that's when how you know that you gonna gain a brother through what? Reproof from rebuke, man. Everybody can't take rebuke, you know. Go ahead.
The brother brought out, and brother could bring it out again, because Kaya brought it out yesterday with the adversity.
Proverbs.
The brothers, yeah,
17.
yeah. Get it, Brother Shaw? The brother is known. You know your brother in adversity. Roughly paraphrasing.
I got it.
You want it right now?
Yeah. Real quick.
It's Proverbs 17 and 17. It says, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
A brother is born in that for adversity, or in adversity. You know, when shit really start to happen. All right, that's how you know that you gained a brother. You know, in that situation. You know, and when things are starting to get tough and things, you know, start to hurt. You know, that's who you're around at that point in time. You know, when shit hit the fan. When shit hit the fan and it's something that you have to deal with, that's the true character of a person really comes out. You know how they're going to handle, you know, situations. You know, either they're going to tuck tail or they're going to, you know, take they lick and build off of that. You know.
And you see, if I could say, you see situations like that, you know, in the world with niggas too. Because they'll be friends like for so long, and then when they have disagreements, they start to ridicule each other, tell each other secrets, and say you was doing it, but the whole time it was how they felt about each other the whole time, so they never really was friends.
Right.
What the niggas doing now? If you haven't known what's going on in Atlanta, man.
Oh
Niggas in the so-called, they're in a clique, right? They're in a rap gang, and they just on social media, just spilling each other beans, man. All right, when Mad Day come, you see, Jake ain't got no goddamn integrity.
Because again, you know, with that situation, you know, dealing with, you know, men who can't, you know, take these things, and choose the coward way out, again, you know, as the brother related to the video game, either way it go, yeah, you fucked up, and yeah, you committed sin, but again, we all came in this thing with righteousness is filthy rags.
Right.
You know? Do you think all of a sudden that sin right there just made your filthy rags just filthier than everybody, and that you just can't recover from this thing? And that's not the case. You just have to take that lick and charge it to the game and keep on moving. You know? But get that for me real quick to back up my point.
This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 76. So and the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said Yahweh power, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquity lift up themselves.
God, do not let your sins weigh you down. All right, because in a more positive outcome of how that would have went was you get acknowledged of your faults. So now you acknowledge your faults. You go sit down for a minute. You reflect on things, and then after you reflect on these things, you're supposed to come back stronger than ever. You know, that's it. That means you just don't commit that same thing again. You know, the Lord is going to sit you down for you to have the understanding of what you need to do and how to operate and make everything go smoother. You know, you just have to be willing to take this right now. But that being said, if you're not willing to take just this alone, shows that you're not ready for more extreme things. So when things really, really get serious, I know for sure I can't count on you in these things if you can't just handle a small situation of getting cut, you know, by your wrongdoings, you know. But
I had something for what you said earlier to back up that Proverbs.
Oh, Slack, let's run through that real quick. You want to? Come, Slack.
This Sirach 6 and 8. I'm gonna start at 7. It says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of trouble. You see, and that's just basically backing up what you brothers is saying. Ultimately, we go through these different endeavors for the Lord to prove us. That's him proving us, all right? And he really knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone, because then we're seeing who can stand in the flames, right? He killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
You see, but it said that last part. It said, for some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of trouble. And that's backing up that Proverbs, because a friend is the person that's gonna leave. Or brother, he man, hey, if my brother leave me, like and I'm in a situation, he can't come back home.
Yeah.
Ain't no way he can come back to the tent.
That's right.
You know, and that's how Yahweh Shai feel, man.
Bobby Shot get 10.
Verse 10, and it reads, again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction, but in prosperity he will be as thyself and will be bold over thy servants. You got it.
One more.
It says, if thou be brought low, he will be against thee and will hide himself from thy face.
And pretty much, Jake, picking and choosing through, you could really read this whole entire chapter. You know, but just the points made out of that, you know, you going to backing up the point of you're gonna know who you're on in tough situations. Right? That's where brothers are made. Brothers are made in the times of adversity. You know who you can count on. You know who you can depend on. You know.
Now we can end it off. Read it out, and I'm gonna read it out. We can end it with that.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. Yeah. And it's this is Sirach 20 and 4, and it says, as is the lust of a eunuch to deflower a virgin, so is he that executed judgment with violence. It said,
just read it out.
Okay, come. And it says, there is one that keepeth silence and is found wise, and another by much babbling becometh hateful. Some man holdeth his tongue because he have not to answer, and some keep his silence knowing his time. A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity, but a babbler and a fool will regard no time.
Right. So when you read it in the GNT from the top, you just read it straight through. It says Sirach 20:1, knowing when to talk, a person can be rebuked in the wrong way. It may be wiser to keep quiet than to speak, but it is much better to rebuke the person than to keep your anger bottled up, right? That goes straight into Matthew 18, man. Right? It says, verse 3, admit when you're wrong and you will avoid embarrassment. Using force to get a point across is like a castrated man trying to rape a young woman. Yes. It says, verse 5, some people are thought to be wise because they don't talk much. Others are disliked because they talk too much. Some people keep quiet because they don't have anything to say. Others keep quiet because they know the right time to speak. This is the point. A wise person will not speak until the right moment, but a bragging fool doesn't know when that time is.
Right. If I could just speak on that, you know, that alone, man, in situations when it comes to, you know, getting rebuked, you know, it's more listening than talking overall.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like brother was just going into, yeah, you might be sitting there thinking like, all right, yeah, that wasn't totally how it went. That wasn't this. Yeah, you nitpicking and picking points in your head of like, okay, that could be spoken of better, but let me hold my tongue. Let me hear everything. And when I'm able to speak, I'm going to speak on the things that I speak of, and that's how we keep order of a discourse happen, of when things happen. All right, but for somebody just to sit here and just rebuttal, and raise tensions when it comes to certain things, you know, no understanding is being held, and therefore nothing positive is going to come to the end of that, you know. But again, that's why in those situations it's just wiser just yeah. No, wrap it up.
Go ahead, get that last one in.
This is book of Proverbs 15:10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die.
Have it.
Yeah.
Have it.
Yeah, that's the end. Yeah. That's it, brother. You know, and that's plain and simple, man. So that was a good home run walk off. You know, with that, you hear me?
Yeah.
So, pray that this everybody good.
Yeah.
So we pray that this live camp was edifying. Trying to get out of here. We want to give infinite honors and prayers too.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who taught us his truth. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect. You Akim, you Akwat, which you brothers and sisters in the Hebrew that believe. In the Bible Ball.
Bible Ball.
Bible Ball.
Bible Ball.
Bible Ball.
Bible Ball.
Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom.